Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. This is part 2 of my first impressions series for Overload version 0.6 build 67. This is a run on Syrinx Hotshot. This is just to test new mechanics and subtle changes to how the game plays in an environment that I'm at least really comfortable with. I've put a majority of my time playing Overload into Syrinx, so we're better able to see how the changes affect the gameplay here. So yeah, if you came here from the previous video, thanks for watching. If you're just watching for the hell of it, thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, we're back with Overload 0.667. We're probably just watching part 1. I played a minute of this because I wanted to see something. I freshly restarted my computer. This is basically only Steam, OBS, and like a tab on Firefox are running right now on my machine. And I wanted to test and see what was going on. And it seems like there have been slight changes to the flight model that the player experiences. Everything seems a little bit floatier. There seems to be like a deceleration now with mouse aiming. Personally, I find it pretty annoying. Eventually, I'll relearn it, but for now, I'm like, oh Jesus! I keep going. Something feels weird about it. I might be off that it's like a deceleration mechanic, but something is definitely different in how the player's ship behaves. So we're gonna jump into it here. I'm gonna see if I can't touch 300 real fast. Syrinx usually heats up pretty quick, and then sorry, and then you can touch pretty high kill targets rather fast. The energy, I noticed, has like a little fire effect now. That's a nice little subtle thing. I'm gonna turn this up very slightly so you can better hear it. There we go. What else? I would love to see more changes on the shield to make them like electrical, like they were in Descent 1 and 2. If they stay as orbs, like whatever, like they're fine how they are. But like since we have fire on the energy, electrical on the shield would be nice. That ding was for the forum chat. I've got a message out there. I'm gonna check that real fast. So back in a flash. And we're back. All right. After a brief discussion with Mike, one of the developers on the team, he mentioned that there are a few mouse testers on the team, so something might have been flipped around. He's looking into it. Everything just sort of feels a little bit heavier in terms of ship control. It's not. It's a little closer to actual Descent, which is bad for me because I've been playing this shit like it's Unreal Tournament the whole time. But let's dive back into it here. I could be wrong though. Like this, it might be the same. As always, I'd have to go back through old footage, and I just don't have time nor the energy. Not really energy, the motivation to do so. Yeah, I could be wrong. I feel like I'm probably wrong, but it doesn't. It's not, yeah, it's slightly off. It's like very, very slight. It's like a little more steering in Ice Cube, a little less mouse looky. Anyway, what's the target? 300? Yeah, we can do that. Hopefully. You know, okay, here's where I run into my limitations with this control scheme. 8 is way over there on the keyboard, and my hand is like on WASD, as with most people. So it's like this huge ass reach to like keep flying and then hit 8. So that'll be challenging. Also, thinking back to it, I'm not entirely sure if the energy thing is a new thing. Maybe it is and maybe it isn't. I just don't know. Oh shit. Maybe I'd have to play with it some, but it seems to me that Falcon MX shoots a little slower, and by a little I mean there's literally 1 or 2 frames more of delay than there were earlier. So it feels a little more natural to like let go of it and not have it shoot 4,000 more missiles than you wanted it to. All right, let me fuck around with this for a second. That's cool that the time bomb hits robots near it with a huge physical effect. It'd be cool. I don't know what the other upgrade is for the time bomb, but it would be cool if it behaved like a POW block from the Super Mario series or Smash or wherever it shows up, where like if you touch it, everything gets like flipped upside down. If it randomly reoriented robots like super fast when the time bomb went off, that'd be really cool. That'd be like a little overpowered, but not really overpowered. It'd be a neat effect. Yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm playing this, I'm like, it's all in my head. It's just, I'm losing my damn mind. I don't know. Fuck, this game is so fucking enjoyable though. Like, every time I pick this back up after going on a hiatus for one reason or another, it's so fun. It's fun every time. I know I get super heated on stream, twitch.tv/CHILLYBUS, and like when I'm chasing records, I'll sometimes get cheesed at like dying to Guardians or Titans or something like that. But at its core, this shit is just it's a purified fun, and you don't find that. You don't find many examples of that. Genre-wise, like it's like a bi-genre thing. You get like a couple of good examples of like the purified good experience. I'm thinking like Super Meat Boy, Hotline Miami, Diablo. You know, games like that that really are like, if you were to pick the example for a genre, what game would it be? And Descent, I mean, 60OF is sort of its like own genre, and there aren't too many examples of it, but like if you put any other game in front of me and then you put like you added Descent into the mix, I would choose Descent every time. And like I think the comparisons of this to Descent are pretty tired, so I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say like as a gaming experience in the modern context, this is the genre killer. Or like this is the killer app for the genre. Like this is the example, you know, for 60OF shooters, and that's, I mean, it's been that way for a while. I just haven't like quantified it in a first impressions video, but I've been thinking that for a little bit. All right, so I got XS. I had LT last round. Let's see what XS does. No. Ooh, it does damage. Okay. So it appears to do damage, and I want to say I'm flying faster in it. So right off the bat, XS is probably going to be more overpowered than LT. LT is just the effect for longer. Let's see if overdrive has changed. Doesn't look like it, but I want to say I'm going much faster now. I want to get my hands on a Nova upgrade. Fuck. You know, I'm going to see all those single digits and a big icon and be like, oh, it's a Devastator. And then I'll just be stuck like this for a good 10 seconds. Where was I going? Yeah, I want to get my hands on like a ton of Novas and check the performance. There were hintings that this was going to be a optimization pass. But talking in the forum chat earlier today, it looks like that has been pushed to next or subsequent patches. Which, I mean, that's fine. This is I figured out what was causing my issue If you're on an R9 380X with June 2017's drivers, Windows 10, 16 gigs of RAM, and an i5 4590, turn your shadows off. So like, whatever. I don't really care about the performance personally. Fuck. But I know that is like, that's something that should definitely be addressed so that this can wind up on as many systems as possible, including, you know, criminally underpowered ones like PS4 and X1, which I think are like, the GPUs are the equivalents of like a 7850, 7870, something like that. But they're dedicated GPUs, so who knows? But anyway, this is pretty good. We're about a third of the way there. I'm either going to keep talking and just make up filler bullshit, or if you hear me not talking, that's because I'm just trying to push to 300, and I'm trying to like find things that may or may not have changed, which aren't much. It looks like there aren't, at least under that light particularly, I think I've seen him still in this build. There's no outline for that Devastator. Talk about subtle changes. I don't think difficulty has been tweaked, at least not in these first 100 robots. I think overall it is very slightly harder. Theoretically, there's a new robot. I haven't seen it yet in these mixes. I'd have liked to have faced it for first impressions. Maybe I'll do like a segment 3 where I find them and just fucking whatever. Fucking time bomb, for real. We'll see if auto select gets implemented, otherwise I'm gonna have to learn not to shoot missiles. Guardians are as bad as ever. I just, I'm not good at flying against them. They always wreck my shit. It looks like, unrelated, well, sort of related to the patch, I dialed it back to 80 to see if that was causing any kind of issues in control scheme here. And it obviously is not. But the missiles look, well, the creeper seems the same size. Oh, the missile pod size changed. Okay, the size of the little ticks on the HUD changed for the missile pod. Hold on, let me. Oh, is that just? Yeah, fuck, get out of here. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so the lava does a little bit of damage when you shoot it. I don't know if that's been changed. I know last time the Praxis effect was added, and I saw it on that Hydra that time. There are Praxis effects when blowing certain robots up, which is, holy shit, that's awesome. I love Praxis effects. We need more of those. Just put one on everything. And if you don't know what that is, it's the little shockwave thing that shows up. It's on like every bomb in free space and every capital ship explosion in free space. It's like that ring. I'm gonna nerd out about Star Wars briefly, but the only like the Star Wars that I had on tape was the late '90s remaster, which I consider to be the definitive version, which is like the theatrical release, and then maybe they do something with Greedo. Personally, I don't really care about that squabble. But what they added was the shockwave around the Death Star when it explodes. Also, I have 3... Oh! Okay, alright. This is back to the game now. You'll notice I have 3 ticks on the HUD. That is a great change. Are these fighting? Are the robots fighting? Is that Hydra shooting that... No, it's shooting something. Alright, well, I thought the robots might be fighting. That'd be a cool thing. Anyway, the 3 ticks for the Hunter W's, that's great. It's a subtle change, but it's nice. Let's see if, oh, I do not have the reflex. So the reflex, I'll have to like check it out and then post my comments on the forums. As always. Whoa! Alright, there we go. things are going well. It's a little slower. DX. Yeah, the little reticle for the Crusher appears to have been widened slightly. Let's mix things up a bit. Oh, a double shredder kill. Okay, the fucking Time Bomb XS is probably, holy shit. That is, it's not overpowered, but it's the better of the two in my opinion, unless you're like all about slow motion forever. That's really neat. Oh man. It doesn't need to be like Devastator power, but a sizable explosion is appreciated. What else? This change was implemented in, I want to say either 58 or 61, one of the two hotfixes that were put out for patch 55, I believe it was. Oh, that was some good AI, although it was a pre-fire situation. It was surprising, but I didn't have time to react. It's just a tiny little tweak that needs to happen with that, and it's like, that's perfect. Anyway, the change in the UI to make the numbers ever so slightly bigger, it's useful and I like it, but goddamn do I hate the shit out of it. It's just so inconsistent with the rest of the size of the little ticks and the reticle itself. Like, just from a design standpoint, it it honks my chuff. I saw that in a video from some guy named Ashes or whatever, and I thought it was hysterical, so I had to use it. But yeah, it grinds my gears just that tiny little bit that is just a little bit larger than everything else in the thing. So you know what also would be great with the Time Bomb thing is if the bullets coming from Guardians and Super Wyverns and Super Guardians and everything slowed down as well, because this now makes, like, slow motion makes Guardians even more deadlier. So if you're rolling Guardians, you're not using Time Bomb. I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, and these are, I feel like spawns for super missiles are rarer than they should be. I feel like it should be regular spawns, and then, you know, the super pickups where you get a full load of all your, of whatever your secondary is. And then, you know, cloak, invulnerability, OD, that kind of thing. I think in that tier of full pickups, we should have like full ammo, full energy, full shield, with full shield being as rare as, you know, an invulnerability, cloak, whatever pickup. Maybe not that rare, but you know what I mean. Just because, like, we have the rest of them, and they're pretty basic resources, so like filling up on those would be really helpful. I have not played Countdown yet. Obviously, this is my second, you know, whatever, my second match. But I'm of the strong opinion, let's say, that we should not have invulnerability spawn in Countdown mode, because it's just like not quite fair. If you pick up an invulnerability, you can get as aggressive as you want with no penalty, which is just cheapens Countdown itself. Sort of a small change, but I think just in the interest of fairness long term. What else? Let me see something. Yeah, acceleration for the ship seems like it's changed just that little bit. It's like just a little bit slower. And they're ever so slightly more pre-fires now. They were totally gone in past builds, and now they're back just a little bit. And I'm just going to complain about them whenever they show up. Or maybe they're not. I don't know. Like I said, like I'd have to go back and look at the footage, and I have prior builds saved, so I'd have to play those and be like, oh yeah, this is very different. It's you know, this is a very different experience, you know. But yeah, this is good. I mean, overall, good changes. great incremental patch as always. Like there's nothing to not like in this one. In 55, I was kind of salty about the balance changes, which were rectified in 58 and definitely in 61. 61 is about where I'm looking in terms of difficulty. I think it's a great balance between challenge, progression, and I guess challenge and progression are pretty much it, because I guess you could wrap in your health and how much damage you're doing under the progression umbrella. But anyway, this is about at that point. Obviously, I'm not like trying to push a record on this. I could see it happening, but then again, I don't know how it plays beyond, you know, 220 now, 221, 220, you know, whatever. But yeah, overall, all of the changes are good. Oh shit, if you direct hit a dude! Oh, it didn't kill him. Oh, that's a bummer. There's still some close spawns too. Just a few of them. Not the end of the world, not a huge deal. I also think the pickups here, oh sweet, XP. Let's fucking tank the performance. Yeah, that's still there. Well, whatever, I've learned to live with it. And it's not as bad as it once was. Anyway, the pickups that I was talking about earlier, the invulnerability, the OD, the cloak, these seem more abundant now. Maybe it's just that I've had 2 good rounds, because I think it was... I feel like there was a switch in prior ones where they just wouldn't spawn at all, and now I've had them in 2 in a row, which isn't all that common. But I'm just thinking aloud. Don't mind me. Let's see here. You know, if I do a time bomb while cloaked, oh man, that's just cool. Like, time bomb is just cool. I wouldn't necessarily call it a particularly effective tool when it comes to like your kill rate, you know, like saving yourself even. Like, you're not going to be able to do all that much fanciful dodging with a time bomb out. Like, let's try this. Okay, come on, shoot me. Can you shoot me? Yeah. Yeah, see, like, it doesn't change... It doesn't change how effective you are at dodging. It just gives you more time to think about where you're going. Which can be useful, but it's not... like, it's not a game changer. It's not going to turn the tide of battle. It's not going to get you out of a jam like a Devastator will. Or, you know, like Hunter W's sometimes will. Like, if you just dump out, you know, a bunch of those or creepers or something like that. So it doesn't do anything to change the ocean, but it does change the ocean's temperature in a few spots, if that makes any fucking sense at all. The cloaking device makes the super hydras, I guess, that makes those incredibly dangerous. More so than usual, I think, because instead of being able to dodge wherever, you can't dodge anywhere. So that's an interesting change in how that plays, just based on, you know, the weapons you're using. Yeah, I think the Praxis effect was only added to super robots, from what I can tell. Obviously, I gotta take another look, or you know, keep playing. But yeah. So we're pretty rapidly closing on 300 here. It looks like the balance wasn't fucked with again, like I said earlier. That's great. Like, the balance is in a good it's in a good spot. Time bomb, you know, I was not really vaguely worried, but you know, there was a little bit of concern on my end privately that it would, you know, completely change how balance works. But I think the way it's executed right now, it'd be nice if we went just a tad bit faster than the robots. Like, say the simulation slows down at a rate of, like, you know, it's running at a quarter speed if we went at like 0.35 speed. Just to give us that ever so slight edge when we're dodging, I think it'd be a major tactical help in like Ace Insane. But as it is, if it doesn't change between now and release, fine by me. It's great. It's really, it's in a good spot right off the bat, which is it's not common to have that in any game. And you know, I keep lauding Overload, but I guess this is the laud Overload episode where every time shit gets added to this game, unless they're changing incoming damage values and how much shield you get when you pick one up, it's been great. And any change that I personally think they've made for the negative has been reverted in a subsequent hotfix like 3 days later. So it's great. Go support these guys if you haven't bought this yet, and if you've been watching for an hour and haven't bought it, A, congrats. I wouldn't even watch this for an hour. And B, go fucking buy it. Like, just do it. So we're over the 300 hump here. It's not like record territory by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like decent run territory, so you can at least get decent runs out of this. I am obviously going to try and push some records in, what's the new one? Already forgot it. Blizzard. There we go. So expect to see me trying to climb those leaderboards there. What else? That's really about it, to be honest. It's good. It's just, it's a good-ass game, and it keeps getting better and better. Yeah, one last thing. The release schedule appears to have changed. We're now looking at early 2018, spring 2018, something like that. So it was fall, which I was gradually getting more skeptical of as time went on, and then they made, in my opinion, the right decision to push it to spring 2018, so we can have a much better experience than the already great experience of now and fall of 2017. So as you can tell, I'm just coming up with filler bullshit to say while I wait to die, which could be any stretch of time now. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I might just hang it up here. Well, no, I'm gonna ride this out because I'm at a low shield value. It might not come back, or it might. Who knows? Yeah. If I get a good idea of how this is going, then I'll probably quit. But yeah, the Guardians, can I get a game without these? Like just one match? Alright. Yeah, I've said everything I need to say. It just keeps going like this. That's how challenge mode works. Oh shit, I'm probably gonna die soon. Or not. Yeah, there's that Praxis. You saw it real slow. Nope, that's it. Okay, well good. Good timing. I ran out of shit to say right as I ran out of health. Okay, let's take a look at this. Great. Guardians, totally out of proportion. What else? Time Bomb, 6 kills. Pretty terrible, but I mean, it's a tactical thing, so whatever. Duh, that's how it's expected. What else? Pretty standard curve. It's a pretty standard run. If it didn't have Guardians to worry about, and if I was more in tune with the controls, whatever. But yeah, that's about it. If you watched all or part of this, thank you for doing so. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Or ugh, God, that feels dirty still. If you want to watch me throw down on Twitch, I do this sometimes. I do Siege sometimes. That's twitch.tv/CHILLYBUS. I might do other games in the future, but for now, Siege and Overload are really where I'm at. And then if you want to tweet at me, if you want to interact with your favorite content creator, look me up on twitter.com/CHILLYBUS. It's great. I'm having a great time yelling at politicians. What else do I do on Twitter? I guess I muse about things. I forget what, though. Anyway, yeah, look me up. Thanks for watching. If you didn't watch, well, I guess you didn't watch then. All right, catch y'all in the next one.